Okay, so get this. We've got a tropical island, right? Beautiful beaches, all that. But they're becoming like an AI hotspot.
You're talking about Mauritius, right?
Mauritius! You sent me some articles, and it's fascinating, like how they're going all in on AI, education, getting their workforce ready, even supporting startups. I mean, it's a whole plan.
It's not just bits and pieces, yeah.
Yeah.
They want a whole AI ecosystem. It's like that quote, Eric Schmidt used to run Google. He said, AI's impact, it's going to be like electricity was.
Wow. Okay, so they're serious. That's a big statement.
Definitely.
So where do they even start with something that big?
Well, they're smart. They're starting young, like AI in school. They're doing it even primary school, all the way up to university.
No kid.
And they're not just making it up as they go. They're working with, like, the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, even Coursera, to get courses specifically for what Mauritius needs.
That's impressive. It's not just theory, right? I saw the University of Mauritius, they've got these new AI degrees.
Oh, yeah, masters in AI, machine learning, the whole deal.
Yeah.
So people graduate, they're ready to work.
Smart. But it can't just be students, right? What about people already working?
Right, so they're doing reskilling, upskilling, all those buzzwords, especially finance, healthcare, agriculture. Those are already using AI there.
Makes sense. Those are big in Mauritius anyway.
Exactly. So in finance, think fraud detection or like better risk management. Healthcare, they're using it for diagnoses, catching things early. And agriculture, well, that's huge for them. So AI helps with crop yields, using resources better, all that.
So it's making those industries even stronger.
That's the idea.
It sounds like everyone's got to be on board for this to work, though.
Oh, absolutely. They're big on partnerships, industry folks, the government, universities. Everyone's got to work together.
Did you say they even have a whole tech park?
Cyber City, yeah. It's like purpose-built for this stuff.
What, so startups can just, like, pop up there?
Pretty much. They give you incentives, tax breaks, grants. Well, it's attractive to set up shop there.
I bet. So what kind of startups are we talking about? Are they solving problems just for Mauritius, or are they aiming bigger?
You get both. Some are very focused, like AI for their tourism, which is huge, or like waste management, even climate change stuff.
Local problems, local solutions.
Right. But some startups, they're thinking global from the start, making AI products anyone could use.
Okay, so they're not messing around.
Not at all. And speaking of starting local, there's this one story, a woman, 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗡, her life totally changed because of all this AI stuff.
Oh, yeah, I read about her. From what I gathered, she always kind of liked tech, even as a kid.
That's her, yeah. Even as a little kid, she was taking apart radios, figuring out how things worked. I guess it's no surprise she got into AI.
But there was something specific that got her into AI, right?
It was a government seminar about AI. It totally clicked for her. She saw how it could solve all these real problems. Healthcare, climate change, everything.
That's cool. But I imagine AI, that's got to be tough to learn.
Yeah, it can be. Even for people who are good with computers, it's a lot to take in. And she hit some roadblocks trying to understand it all.
I can imagine. But she didn't give up, right?
Nope. And then, this is great, there was this hackathon held right there at Ebony Cyber City, where everyone teams up and tries to build something cool with tech.
I've heard of those, yeah.
Well, she went for it. Her and her team, their idea was an app. They called it 𝗧𝗕smart. It was all about helping sugarcane farmers do better.
Wait, 𝗧𝗕smart? Like the sugarcane that's everywhere in Mauritius?
That's the one. She was connecting tech to, like, her heritage. It's awesome.
That's so cool. And they won the hackathon, didn't they?
They did, which is great, but winning's only step one. You got to turn that idea into a real business.
Oh, yeah. That's the hard part. So what happened next?
Well, that's where we pick up in part 2 of our deep dive to see what became of 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗔𝗡 and her amazing 𝗧𝗕smart app.
Can't wait. All right, so where did we leave off? Oh, yeah. 𝗧𝗔𝗧𝗏 and her team, they just won the hackathon with their 𝗧𝗕smart app. But did they actually make it a real business?
They did. They really did. Winning that hackathon, it wasn't just like a pat on the back. It opened doors, They got mentors, they met investors. Suddenly, all these resources were available to help them.
Makes sense. Having a cool idea is one thing, but turning it into a company, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. And the mentors were key, especially the ones from Ebony Cyber City. These are experienced people. They helped with business plans, figuring out the market, even getting funding.
So it's like having a whole team behind you.
Exactly. It's that whole ecosystem thing again. It really works.
Yeah.
So how did 𝗧𝗕smart itself change? Did they stay focused on just sugarcane, just Mauritius?
I was wondering that too.
Well, remember we talked about those concerns, about scaling up.
Yeah.
Like, could an app for a small island really go global?
Yeah, that makes sense. Investors got to see the bigger picture.
Right. So they could have tried making cane smart, like for any crop, anywhere, but they didn't.
Interesting. So what did they do?
They leaned into what they knew best. They were the sugarcane experts, right? And sugarcane, it's not just Mauritius, it's a lot of tropical places.
Oh, I see. So they found their niche.
Exactly. Asha, she was traveling all over, conferences, meeting farmers from Brazil, India, even Thailand, showing them how cane smart could help them too.
Smart move. And did the investors buy it?
They did. Funding started coming in, and the app itself, it was working. Farmers using cane smart, they saw their yields go up, sometimes like 10%, 20%, even more.
Wow, that's huge. That's got to be good for business.
It was. But it wasn't just about making money. Remember how Asha struggled to learn AI at first? That stuck with her,
Oh, yeah. She wanted to make it easier for others.
especially for women and girls, because there's not a lot of them in tech, right? So she started working with groups, NGOs, schools in Mauritius to get more girls into STEM stuff.
That's fantastic. Scholarships, I bet.
Scholarships, yeah, but also workshops, mentoring programs, the whole deal. She knew how important that was, having someone to guide you.
It's like paying it forward. But even with all this success, there must have been some bumps in the road, right?
Oh, definitely. Building a company, it's never easy. Some investors early on, they weren't so sure about focusing on sugarcane.
I get it. It's a big risk.
But Aisha, she stuck to her guns. She showed them the results, the data. CaneSmart was working, and she knew where it could work even better.
So she convinced them. What happened next?
Well, with more funding, she could hire more people, expand the company. CaneSmart was growing fast, and so was Asha's reputation. She was becoming like this AI star.
It's amazing from taking apart radios as a kid to all this.
It really is. But her story doesn't end there. To hear the final chapter, we'll have to wait for part 3 of our deep dive.
I'm on the edge of my seat. So Asha's company is doing great. She's becoming this AI leader. What happens next?
Well, they didn't just stick with sugarcane. Once CaneSmart was a success, they used that knowledge, those same ideas, to help other farmers too.
You mean like other crops?
Yeah, rice, coffee, cocoa. They realized the AI, it could be adapted, right? Help farmers all over.
But that must take in a lot of work, new data, all that.
Oh, for sure. They had to partner up with scientists, researchers, universities, get the right data for each crop, each region.
Smart. Can't just assume one solution fits all, right?
Nope. And while all this is happening, Asha herself, she's getting more and more attention. People wanted to hear from her.
I bet. She's got this incredible story, plus she really knows AI.
So she starts speaking at conferences all over the world, sharing her insights about AI, about business, about how important it is to, include everyone in this tech stuff.
That's so inspiring. It's one thing to be successful, but to then help others.
She became a role model, yeah, showing people, especially women, that they could do this too.
Because she never forgot about Mauritius, right? All the articles mentioned that.
Oh, absolutely. She started a foundation all about supporting STEM education back home, especially focused on girls, giving them opportunities they might not have had otherwise.
That's amazing. What kind of things did the foundation do?
Scholarships, for sure, but also like workshops, mentoring programs, making sure these girls had the support they needed, like she had.
It's like a whole circle, right? She gets help, she succeeds, then she helps others do the same.
Exactly. And her impact, it wasn't just Mauritius anymore. Speaking at those conferences, she was inspiring people all over the globe to learn about tech, use it for good, all of that.
So as we wrap up this whole deep dive into Mauritius and AI, what's the main takeaway, do you think?
I think they showed the world it doesn't matter how small you are. If you've got the right vision, the right commitment, you can become a leader in something like AI.
And Ash's story, it really proves that, right?
Yeah.
One person with passion, with support, can make a huge difference.
No doubt. It all starts with being curious, wanting to learn, and believing that tech, it can really change things for the better. If Mauritius can do it, anyone can.
That's a great thought to leave everyone with. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been an amazing story.